Hello, hello. Give me 1 minute here. Wow, my computer is doing really weird things. Well, I can't get that to go. I'm very nervous because my computer seems to be doing weird things. Hello, bonjour. My name is Denise Willerton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in East St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada, Central Canada. If you're a demonstrator, that's awesome. Hopefully I can inspire you a little bit. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to help you with your creativity needs. Hello, Judy, welcome here. Nice to see your name pop up. We're going to get right to it. So last week I did not do a live. So I was determined to do one this week. So the one that I did 2 weeks ago, we had done like a, I'm not sure what you call that design, kind of herringbone-ish. And what I had done when I put the card together was I used Tombow for each of my strips. And while I was doing it, I was telling you all that you could also, and the better way to do it is using adhesive sheet. And I had put a call out there. Hi, Barb. Hi, Heather. Welcome here. I had put a call out there saying, does anybody want me to recreate this again using an adhesive sheet? And everybody was like, yes, please. Yes, please. So we're sort of going to do the same thing, but I'm going to show you a better way of taking care of all your strips of beautiful design paper. And so, yeah, if you look at my tabletop, yes, I am a saver of strips. Isn't that crazy? Let me change this view here because that makes more sense. Hi, Christine. Welcome here. Hello, Lucy. Nice to see your names all pop up. Okay, so let's get to this. This is a great way of using up those scraps, okay? I feel like it's really dark here. So I've got my basic white panel, and this measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I have an adhesive sheet, and that also measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. Okay. So what we're going to do is, you can see how there's little, I don't know if it's going to come through, maybe a little bit. There's a little like tear spot that Stampin' Up gives us. If I touch this side, there's no adhesive. And what I like to do is I like to actually fold that over like that. Okay. And I see that I'm blurry and pixely. I don't know why it's doing that. Cheryl Peters, hello, dear friend. And thank you for sharing. So this adhesive sheet measures the same as this, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So none of this part here has been exposed except for this little part right there. Okay. So I like to lay my cardstock down on top of my adhesive sheet where it's not exposed. And right here it is. And I just give it a press. And then I carry on by removing the backing. And that is a great way of making sure that you're putting it on straight. Now I'm just going to kind of lift the back because I'm stuck down there. And let's remove, if it's going to let me, let's remove that backing and this backing. Okay, so now we've got, and we're just going to go straight across. Now we've got our adhesive sheet stuck on our little basic white panel. But now what I need to do is I need to remove this backing and expose all of that, okay? And sometimes it's gonna, I'm trying to stay in camera here, but I kind of need it closer to me. So it's trying to lift right here. There we go. So there, you want to give it a good burnish. Let's use our bone folder for that. Sherry, welcome here, and thank you for sharing. I will put your name down for the draw too. Sherry, I think you won last time. And I hope you've received your card. I think it was you. So when it's not lifting, I just want to give it a little bit of a better burnish here. And I am working on my silicone mat, which you all know is my favorite. I am trying not to touch my adhesive backing. Okay, so now this is like completely adhesived, okay? Lucy, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Now I've got a whole bunch of strips already kind of cut. The first thing that you want to do is you want to start with a longer strip, okay? So for instance, I wouldn't want to start with something this size, because what I want to do is I want to get from this corner, I'm stuck on it, from this corner here to this corner there with my first strip. So this one here is nice and long, and I don't want to go right in the corner. I want to go just above it. So let's just find that and find it at that end, okay? So there we go. First strip down, and now we're ready to start building. So what we want to do is we want to section this off into quarters, okay? Oh, Sherry, I hope you get it soon. So why don't we grab, this is just a piece of cardstock, Blackberry Bliss. And I don't want to go right in that corner. And if you do, it doesn't really matter. The only reason why I'm trying to avoid it is because cutting it later makes it a whole lot easier. Okay. And thank you for the thumbs up. You want to make sure that that this edge here is straight. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. That'll work right there. So I did this first. I did this second. We're going to stay in this little corner here. So now I'm just going to work back and forth. Okay, no, and you don't want to overthink it. Some of these are 1/4 of an inch. Some of these are 1/8 of an inch, and it really won't matter. I'm just trying not to get stuck on my adhesive backed panel here. Okay. Let's go. And you want to kind of do a little bit of contrasting. Like this one is all pink, so I don't want to do another one like that. This looks great. See how that is angled? I want that square. So let's get out our little trimmer. Well, Sherry, you should be getting it soon then. And let's just cut that straight off. So if I work on my adhesive sheet, I can go back and forth quite easily. Now with your adhesive sheet, you don't have the same wiggle room that we had when we were using the Tombow. Okay, let's go a little bit thinner. So this one here looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm just butting up, and I'm just going back and forth. Let's get a solid purple in there. So I'm just cutting this. Try to stay in. There we go. I'm just going to cut that about there. And let's make this even a little bit thinner. Don't have to, but you don't have to, but I want to. And while I'm there, let's just do it again. And I am not worried that it's the same the same thickness, whether it's a 1/4 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Okay, so this was the last one that I put on. So we're going back up here. And this is the, don't go down yet. This is the, is this the Meandering Meadows? I don't even know what DSP I'm using. It's just sitting on my table. You know what? Let's get a little bit of this Daffodil Delight in there just for something entirely different. Now, do you see, for those that were here last week, I'm sure you can tell how much quicker this is. Let's just get a solid, gorgeous grape in there. And now what we can do, you want to avoid touching that. So I'm making sure that my fingers are on my design paper. Let's just cut some of these strips off. And I'm not worried about this being super even and clean, because I am going to trim all of it after. Now, even some of the little guys here, you just might need them. So don't be too quick to throw away. Once you're done, then you can. But sometimes even something like that is going to fit somewhere. Get that cleaned off. And so this was the last one. We're back down here. And this must be extremely boring at the other end though, ladies. And I do apologize for that. Let's get that in there. I've got a tiny, tiny little smidge sticking out, but you know what? That's going to get trimmed off. So we're not going to worry about that for now. Cut those off and let's move to another section. So this section is complete. When you move to another section, you just want to start by making one line across with a design paper scrap. We could move up here, but let's work down there. I want this guy a little bit thinner. Is that gonna, yeah, that'll fit. Let's just chop that down a little bit. Sherry, I can't remember what sentiment your card had on it. Today is Thursday. Oh, I hope you receive it by at least tomorrow. Okay, let's get this guy down. And I started here with this one, so I don't necessarily want to go right there. So let's just put it down a little bit over, like so. Okay, let's go into here. That one went down. We're moving on to that side. And I want to kind of contrast this DSP here. And let's grab, you know what, that's too close to this one. I want something entirely different. Let me see. Ooh, I like this. I like that. So now we're going to the other side. Who's going to give this a go? Let's cut that. Let's get that one chopped. I went here, now I'm going to go there. I don't know if you saw that I was going to start putting it down on the wrong side. I need to move this way. There we go. Who has weekend plans? I have one of my cousins coming in from Calgary on Friday, and they're staying for a week, but we're going camping come Monday, and so she's actually just staying at our place, which is wonderful. I want to make sure that I'm butted right up, trying not to have any of the adhesive exposed. Oh, Cheryl, when we go, I'm going to come knocking on your door. Is this going to work? Yes, it will. See how it's angled? I need to cut that straight. So we're just going to pop that in here and get that angle off. Whoops. So I was going to go on that side, but that's where I just put it down. So you do want to go back and forth. Otherwise, your design is not going to work. That's cute. Oh, you know what? Here's one that's already square. And let's grab this because I like the yellows that are in there. We need to square that end off. No plans yet. Oh my goodness, how fun is that? So what school? Judy, are you in Canada? I can't remember. Oh no, I think you're in the UK. Welcome here. How fun is that? And yes, a weekend of crafting. Heather, I agree. Oh, Dee, welcome here. I was not expecting you. Thank you. I just happened to look up and I saw your name when I realized that I missed some of the conversation. I'm actually bringing some of my creating tools, etc., into the RV this weekend. I'm hoping to get some albums done, or started at least. Okay, I've got lots of little guys here. Let's see what I can fit in. That color isn't going to really... I like this. I just need to square that off. I like this, and it's already squared off. It's hard when you're working in a little section here. Let's get some, yeah, let's do that right there. And now there's another section that's done. Actually, that did not go down very nice. There we go. Let's cut off that excess. And again, not super worried about being straight because we're going to put this in the trimmer and cut it. So last video, when I did my trimming, I used my paper trimmer, and it didn't work so well. You want to use a guillotine. Oh, right, Judy. So you're going to Ottawa. I lived in Ottawa when I was, or you're going to London. I lived in Ottawa when I was a little girl. I took my kindergarten in Ottawa. So now we've got two sections here that are already kind of corded off. Is that a word? And so I am just going to pick section and start working. Now, see how this is down that way, which means I don't know if you can tell. If I put this piece down here, I'm not going the right way. This was the last piece, therefore I have to go here. Okay, I hope that's making sense. And I want to make sure that I'm nice and tight to the other one. So let's go back and forth in this section right here. It's a fun technique, and it goes a lot quicker with the adhesive sheet backing. You lose your wiggle room. I do need to tell you that. That's not going to fit. That is not going to fit because I don't want to pull in. That'll work. Yeah, it's a great way to use up that design paper. Off to this side now. Let's square that off. Heather, thank you. Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of fun. Well, I think it is, and maybe for some people it's too piddly, which is a word that my mother uses. I don't know if it's a word. Well, it is now. It's piddly. Or is it fiddly? Okay, off to that side. Let's get this sweet little strip right in here. So I'm just butting up to the last and butting up here is all I'm doing. And I'm going back and forth. And I'm trying not to use the same colors right away. And do I have, let's see, here's a strip of cardstock. Let's pull that in. Off to this side now. And let's get some. I like this, but I'm going to cut that end off. Square that up. And then let's cut a thinner strip. Coming to an end here on this one. That needs to be thinner, but you know what? This one here, no, I want that thinner as well. What else do I have on my table? Take a look, and what you see, you just might be surprised, and it's like, oh, that's going to work. Okay, I've got that little corner. Want to try and stay away from what I've already got down there. Let's flip that over. Let's see what colors pop out here. And again, I'm not too worried about fiddly. Fiddly is a word. Fiddle-dee. We need a straight edge, and I want to find something. This is going to work. Let's put that guy right in there. Give it a press, and then we're just going to cut that whole thing off. And it's quite thick, so I can just trim that up for later, but that went right in there. So now we're going to move to our last section. This went down, so now I'm starting on that side, okay? Let's get this one cut because I know I'm going to use it. Piddly means small or not important. Oh, well, then this is not piddly because this is important. Who's with me? Card making is important. And you know, here's the thing. Sometimes we make all these beautiful cards, and I'm the worst one, and they don't leave the house. They sit in a beautiful box in your studio, and you don't send them out. So that's part of my reasoning for doing the, when you share my post, I will enter your name for a draw, because it gets me in the practice of sending those cards out. Okay? So we're just, again, going back and forth, matching up this end with that edge. And you just want to make sure that everything is cut square. And it's a little bit difficult because I'm working kind of under my camera, so sometimes I can't really see where I'm going here. Let's go this side. I prefer that contrast against that last piece that I just put down. And that's kind of cool. Let's cut that a little bit thinner. Thinner and shorter. I need it a little bit shorter. And again, you want to make sure that you're cutting straight. Make cards, and then I give 8 cards with envelopes in a pretty package. Oh, you know what, Sherry, I have been thinking about doing that lately, and I guess thinking and 2 different things. But that is a beautiful idea. I mean, I do that for my mom, but I don't think of doing it beyond that. But there you go, a challenge for us all. Sherry, thank you for that. Let's put this end down. Now, do you see how some of these are different widths? And it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Now, I can go light or a little bit darker. No, you know what? I want something entirely different. I'm not liking. I think I like that. There's another super thin one. And then maybe I can pull this one in. And the thing is, when you're doing this, don't overthink it, because you're not going to put anything. Oh, Barb, thank you for telling me that. Where am I? Let's put this down here. Yeah, when you're doing this, if you overthink it, you're going to have a really hard time. So do not overthink it. Do not, because you're going to you'll be at a standstill. Not good. Let's get this little guy down here, another super thin one, which is really sweet. Ooh, I like that. Actually, nope, that was the same one that I just put down. Yeah, that's the one thing that I try to do. I try not to go, I try not to put the same down as I'm going back and forth. I try to do a little bit of a contrast. Let's put this little strip in there. We've got one little corner. What do I have kicking around? Nope, too close to what I just put down. Too close to what I just put down. That will look sweet. Let's square that tip off. I'm working with a super small piece here. So there we go. That's going to tuck right in there. So now this is done. Let's give that a little bit of a haircut. And again, not worried about my edges. Now all of this, a lot of this is going to end up in the trash now. What I want to do, just to solidify all of that down, let's grab our cut and emboss machine. And we're going to use the Distressed Tile 3D embossing folder. So we're just going to slip that in. pop that onto our platform and wheel that through. As my table shakes here. Let's get this little guy out of the way because we're done with him. So get yourself a little bin or something from the dollar store and save your scraps. And then you just kind of color coordinate them. So here is my embossed panel. I don't know if that's gonna, yeah, it's coming through. So there's the embossed panel and it's the wrong size, okay? I've got a piece of gorgeous grape already cut, and this measures 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and that's going to go down on our card front like so. So we've got just a smidge of a basic white border showing. Ruth, hello, my dear. Nice to see you here. And then what I want to do is I want to cut this panel to size to fit in my gorgeous grape. Okay, so this is, what did I say? Because that was a whole hot minute ago. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3. I'm a little bit bigger of a trimmer, and this is where your Stampin' trimmer isn't going to really work because it gets caught up. So what I like to do is I like to cut just a smidge on this end so I know I'm nice and square. And then on this side is where I want my measurements. So that is 4 1/8. So I want to go 4 on this side. So let's line that up at the 4. So I know on these ends I'm nice and square. So on this side, let's just, because do you see how this is a little, so if we trim that off, so we want 4 by, what do I want? So my 4 fits, and I believe it's 5 3/4. That's the square edge. Let's square this one off. I think it's 5 by 1/4. I think. And we're going to take just a smidge more off. So that, you're going to take a tiny bit more off. What side do I want to do it on? I like that pink right in there. Let's just cut a little more off. Just a smidge. So we're about 5 1/4 by 4. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to put our embossed panel down. Grab your adhesive of choice, and we're going to put down our sentiment. So I have just a few stamp sets in front of me here. I didn't grab a whole lot. I'm multitasking today. Oops, and I'm not in camera. So that is ready to go down on our card with our little border. So let's do that. So what sentiment should we be looking for, girls? I've got your friendship means everything, which is kind of sweet. And I think that would look really nice on here. I wonder who's going to win this card today. Down she goes. So I had this card base already cut. actually is going to open long. Okay, make sure that's nice and down. How about wishing you the brightest birthday, or your friendship means everything? I think this stamp set is still current, or is it not? I love the embossing on the top too, Heather. You know what? Maybe Cheerful Daisies is retired, which means I really don't want to use it. Dear friend, you know, I do have this already pre-cut. Is that too busy? I would put dimensionals on it, but is that too busy? It is current? Okay, so then Cheerful Daisies is still with us. Let's go with it. So, your friendship means everything to me. Wishing you the brightest birthday. Somebody's going to win this. So, it's so nice to see your names. Girls, when you come and hang out with me, it just means the world. I do love the way this magnolia all current. It's all current. Let's go with wishing you the brightest birthday, because it's kind of a bright card. Wishing you, nope, that's your friendship. There it is. Wishing you the brightest birthday. Let's ink that guy up. I want to use my foam mat. And let's just get a scrap. Oh, I had this already cut, but I think I need something a little bit bigger. That is going to be too small. Here's a scrap. That's what I'm looking for. And let's grab Gorgeous Grape. It's too busy, Cheryl, with that flower. Okay, so we will tone it down. We won't put the flower on. We're just going to stick with our sentiment. Wishing you the brightest birthday. I have an idea. Let's see if this is going to work. So Cheryl thinks the magnolia, and it is pretty busy. So I was thinking, why don't we put one of these gorgeous butterflies down? I don't know. Let's just put a little bit of color on there. I needed a piece of scrap. Okay, and Christine does not mind the magnolia. Let's just color up our butterfly a little bit. This might not, but we'll find out. These little butterflies are so sweet. Just putting some Gorgeous Grape along the edges of these wings. I'm going to try to leave the center white. Look at that. I see another card idea. Using these butterflies as a mask. Okay, so here we've got our butterfly. So sweet. Wishing you the brightest birthday. Do I have any dies close by? And I don't. Okay, we are going to cut that. Let me show you how I like to cut my sentiments if I want to try and follow the lines. Okay, first of all, you want to get rid of your excess. So there's some scrap for later. Now, what I like to do is I like to just turn my paper. Okay, so my scissors and my paper are doing the work. Okay, I don't cut at the tips, I cut in the crotch. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go kind of straight-ish across, and I'm not worried about perfection. That's just me. Okay, so we're going straight across, and now I want to come down. So what I'm going to do is I am going to turn the paper. Okay, and I want that a little bit tighter, so I'm going to turn the paper. See how the paper is turning, and we want to go down with the G. I'm turning the paper. Cheryl did some fussy cutting the other night at class, and she did a wonderful job, because oftentimes it intimidates her, but she nailed it. So I'm just turning the paper. And then when I'm done, if there's any like real pointy kind of edges that I don't like, I just come in and just give it a little clean. And if I want to go a little bit tighter here, I would just turn the paper. I don't know if you can see that that's what I'm doing, but I'm turning the paper. So there you go. Wish you the brightest birthday. And sorry for the blurriness. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know if it's my connection at this end. Okay, so we've got our sentiment. Let's put dimensionals behind that. We're not going to put it down quite yet. Oh, and Cheryl, when you were at class the other night and you were slipping your dimensionals back in, and remember I said I'll show you a little trick? I totally forgot to show you. What I do is I keep this sealed, and then along the side, I cut open along the side, and then I just stick my hand in and I pull it out. Okay, did that make sense? That's what I like to do. So there's the little cutaway from my envelope, and that's how I do it. Let's cut some of these up in pieces. And let's get that down, and then we can kind of imagine it. I like to always put one in the middle. I don't want my sentiment caving in. So that's going to go on there somewhere. Some people like the flower. To flower or not to flower? Let's put some dimensionals behind there. Not going to remove anything yet. I had this magnolia already stamped and die cut because I wanted to play with it. I want one in the middle. Don't want it to cave in on me. So we're just going to imagine, okay? So we're just imagining. So with the dimensionals behind there, it kind of gives it a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like dimension. And so, yeah, hence dimensionals. Let's put just a really thin strip on the butterfly here, and we're just going to play around. We're going to see what we like best. Where did I put my scissors? Let's see what we like best. Is that going to be thin enough? I want it really thin. If I put it this way, because I don't want that peeking through, and if I put one right down here. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so to magnolia or not to I fold the sticky edge over, then the dimensionals slip out. I fold the sticky edge over. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, so kind of same idea. Yeah, same idea. Same but different, right? The outcome is the same. Here is with the magnolia, if we did that, and then of course we'll put some bling down, because I'm actually not minding that. Or, whoops, sorry, butterfly. Or, no, I think the butterfly gets really lost in there just because the background is so busy. Well, I don't know. What do you think? I need help. The butterfly or the magnolia? And Cheryl now says, yes, go with the flower. And you know what, Judy? I've done that too, where I just fold it over the flower. Yeah, I think because there's, it's so open that there's too much showing through. Put the butterfly on the flower. Yeah, the butterfly's kind of big. I totally see what you're saying, but if the butterfly was smaller, but the butterfly is pretty big, I have a feeling it's one or the other. Wishing you the brightest birthday. And you know what we can do? Let's see, do I have any? No, I don't. I was going to see if I had some ribbon. What do you think? Too big? Yes, the butterfly is too big. Okay, let's go with this. And you know how sometimes for me, I'm overthinking the card and I just can't get my head around what I'm doing. But then when I put it down and then I put my bling on it, it's like, what? It changes everything and then we're good to go. Let's remove that backing. So I am packing for the lake, and I'm actually packing stuff to make a handmade album. And I'm going to teach that class one of these days. And I am also going to teach it virtually and not only in person. So if anybody is interested in creating an album with me, fire me a note and let me know. Okay, so wishing you the brightest birthday. Ribbon would have been cute there too, but. And now let's grab, so here is another package where I've trimmed the edge off, okay? These are the Adhesive Back Pearl Trio. They are yummy. They are yummy, yummy. So beautiful. Okay, let's get these down. Yeah, Heather, you know what? I'm liking it, and it was just sitting on my desk. Let's put, I always like to put 2 kind of close by and then 1 elsewhere. That's how where do I want to go with this one? I think I'm liking that because it really pops against the lighter color. So there is the card. There is the card. So this is getting raffled. Flower only. Oh, yeah, flower only, not the butterfly. Yes, I was going to say flower only. No, I need a sentiment. But no, you're right, Christine. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So for those that shared, and you can still share right now before I throw your names in the bucket, we've got, thanks, girls, Cheryl and Lucy and Sherry and Dee. I don't know if Dee is still here because I know she's at work. And Barb, am I missing anyone? Heather, thank you. Thank you. Did anybody else share whose name I did not call out? Please let me know. Love it, Christine, I think is what you were saying. Did I miss anybody's name? I don't think I did. Love. Yes. Thanks. Thanks. If you are on YouTube, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get my numbers up and I'm just still. And so I would love it if you did. Yeah, I've got Lucy. Yeah, I've got Lucy right there. She's in the bucket. Okay, so I've got everybody's name. Let's see who is going to win this gorgeous grape magnolia mood birthday card. And you almost can't see the bling in there, but look at it. There it is. So pretty. I love it. And the winner, thanks Judy so much. The winner of today's card is Cheryl. So Cheryl, I am going to be seeing you in a little while. We have a mutual friend whose father passed away, and so we are off to the funeral this afternoon. So Cheryl, I will bring the card, or is that like not appropriate? But anyway, Cheryl, congratulations for winning. Ladies, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We are camping next week, but I'm hoping to still maybe do a live, and maybe I don't know, maybe I'll pack to create a card, or maybe I'll show you what I'm working on with my albums. Okay. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. Have a blessed weekend. Enjoy, get outside, get some fresh air if it's not raining out. And we will see you all hopefully next week right here with another video. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.